Good evening. This is Vivian Williams, and today I'd like to talk to you about underage drinking in the United States. I'm going to start off with a quote by Xavier Becerra, and I quote, "It is critical that parents and other trusted adults initiate conversations with kids about underage drinking well in advance of the first time they are faced with a decision regarding alcohol," and I end the quote. According to the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, alcohol is the drug of choice among youth. It is unnerving to know that many young people are experiencing the consequences of drinking too much, too early. As a result, according to the NIAA, underage drinking is a leading public health problem in this country. According to data from the 2005 Monitoring the Future study, which did an annual survey of U.S. youth, 3/4 of 12th graders, more than 2/3 of 10th graders, and about 2 in every 5 8th graders have consumed alcohol. Because of immaturity and the lack of discipline, when youth drink, they tend to consume 4 to 5 drinks at one time. MTF data shows that 11% of 12th graders, 22% of 10th graders, and 29% of 8th graders had even gone on a binge in drinking. Some of them have even driven while drunk or have gotten in the car with someone who had been drinking. According to Mothers Against Drunk Driving, the month of July is one of the worst months for teens. They should be enjoying their summer vacation, but many of them start using alcohol or other substances. Every 8 seconds this past July, an adolescent drank. They suffered memory loss, they suffered alcohol poisoning, some of them even got behind the wheel of a car. There was one college student that was interviewed by the New York Times about an upcoming game. And it was so strange to see that the interviewee himself was stoned beyond measure during the interview. The NIAA states that in 2003, the average age of having taken the first drink was 14 years old, compared to 17 and a half in 1965. New research shows that the serious drinking problem, which includes alcoholism, actually began and appear much earlier during young adulthood or even adolescence. According to the NIAA, research shows the brain keeps developing until age 25. Scientists believe that this lengthy development period is the reason for adolescent behavior in adults and their propensity to seek out new and potentially dangerous situations. For some teens, thrill-seeking, offers them the opportunity to experiment with alcohol. Because they don't have the maturity level and they don't recognize that their actions, such as drinking, has consequences, they tend to go overboard. I shuddered at this article by Alex Johnson. There is a movement now to lower the drinking age. They're fighting for that in our country. They say if a child or a young person is old enough to go to war and fight for this country, well, then they should be able to take a drink or two. The National Youth Rights Association has been studying a few states, including Florida, where I live and have a school, where supporters are pushing a ballot for this initiative. Opponents of the idea point to a report to raising the drinking age and to deter binge drinking in youth. David J. Hansen, an alcohol policy expert at the State University of New York, said, "Raising the drinking age to 21 was passed with the very best of intentions, but it has had the very worst of outcomes. He quotes, and I quote him, "Just like during Prohibition, the law has pushed and forced underage drinking and youthful drinking underground where we have no control over it." End of quote. But Mark Rosener, chairman of the National Transportation Safety Board, commented, "Why would we repeal or weaken laws that were instituted to save lives?" From the perspective of an educator that deals with this population daily, I agree with the argument that binge drinking is an example why minors should not be allowed to drink. Researchers have identified potential causes of underage drinking. Research shows that before age 9, children generally view alcohol negatively and they see drinking as bad. But by the time they get age 13, their expectancies change. Now, because of television ads, billboard ads, advertising alcohol, then we see that they feel like alcohol is not really that bad anymore. And now they have a positive, arousing idea of alcohol. Questions were asked, is there a link between alcoholism and genetics? And the NIAA has written and done studies that children of an alcoholic parent, or they have family members that are near them that indulge in alcohol, are more likely to be alcoholics. As I conclude, I want to read a letter. It says, "An open letter to my son" by Miss Renigan, and it reads as this: "Dear Tom, the legal drinking age in this country is 21. Please know that Dad and I will never allow you to have alcohol in our house or in our presence until you reach that age. Please also know that no good has ever come from a group of teenagers drinking. It's a recipe for all kinds of disasters. If you should choose to drink, you will not only be breaking the rules of our house, you'll be breaking the law. If you get stopped for drinking under the influence, or the police get called to a party where you have been drinking, you may be in a position where we can't protect you. Always call me and your dad. Always. No matter what you have done." I conclude with this. I believe that this letter is exactly what Xavier Berea meant in my opening quote, by asking parents and other adults to take an active role in the lives of youth before they are faced with the decision to drink. Thank you.